Hello.
Mine are bigger than yours.
Who cares? So it's the middle of July. My shop is currently, I don't know, I probably can't see, 97. So it's not that hot, but it's miserable. And you just stand here and sweat. So I'm going to go rebuild a motor at my brother's shop because his shop is air conditioned. And that's what, well, I've got a 5-ton unit up here. Compressor went out. Can't find nobody to work. Want nobody to fix it. So I just deal with it. One day I'm gonna learn how to fix it myself. So, well, let me go show you what I'm putting the motor in. That's kind of exciting. Well, I didn't think this through. It's pitch black in here. But it's a mint Cherokee. Maybe I'll add a picture or something, but it's a mint Cherokee, like one owner, doctor owned. It's like cream of the crop, but running hot as usual. So needs a motor. That's a project later on in the channel. So I got this motor right here. It's actually a ZJ motor, but it's gonna work. And the guy said he was just driving and the oil pump broke off or something. So I didn't believe him because I've never seen it. But I think he's telling the truth. It had no oil pressure. I drove it in the shop. So push in there, get it took apart, see what it's like. I got it shoved off in here. He's got the nice air conditioning. Mine was about 100. His is about 60 some degrees. So I don't think much I need to explain about just taking the motor apart. Kind of common sense. But if I see something, I will let you know. I had my work shoes on and didn't realize that somebody didn't put any studs in the exhaust header, and it about got me. I got scared. I moved fast, knocked everything down, but got basically everything took off. Motor's not that bad nasty. I don't remember. I'm sure it's 200,000 mile motor. So knock these rocker arms off and get the head off and see what it looks like. Oil just looked like motor oil, so maybe it's not hurt too bad. Fixing to crack the head off. Well, that's not the proper term. Fixing to take the head off of it. Got it unbolted. Maybe y'all can see.
It's not a crackhead.
I don't think it's a crackhead. It's a heavy head, I know that.
Got break it loose. Pry bar.
Pry who?
Yeah, pry bar. Oh my goodness.
Where'd it come from?
Out of my hand.
I didn't do that.
Should be loose now.
Oh yeah. It's got a new head gasket. Y'all ain't gonna believe this. It looks just like a used motor. Let me stand this up over here. Don't drop it on my toes.
Drop it on me either.
Alright, well, it looks just like a used motor. Actually looks pretty good. Head looks like a head. Oh golly. Just not like that. And check this out. What do you think about that?
Wow, I've never seen a burnt valve on
I ain't either.
a Cherokee.
The fact they did a head gasket and didn't see that is
Wow.
pretty bad. You probably should quit mechanicking if you didn't see that.
I don't think that people believe me. I've probably done 100 and something heads, and I've never seen that before.
Well, it seems to be locked up now. Let me try to spin it over. It spins over good. I guess it was just kind of dry seized. So now we'll keep on with the tear down process and see what it looks like. I left it sitting over here for a day or two to drain the oil, so let's get the bottom end checked out. Hopefully it's good. That's all I'm kind of worried about, because I don't want to buy a crankshaft or nothing like that. Here we go. Y'all are along for the ride. Oh, that's pretty cool. So this is going to get into personal opinion, and this is my motor going in my Jeep. So you can do it however you feel like it. But we've had, I can't tell you how many lifter and cam issues, and everything you get now is made in China. I don't care what it says on there. So the quality of what's in this motor versus the quality of what you buy is unmatched. So I prefer to reuse the lifters. That's just me. I know that don't sound right because it don't sound right. But if you've seen what we've seen and what we've been through and know how good of materials this was back in the day versus what you're buying, get mixed opinions. So I'm gonna keep the lifters in order. I'm gonna lay them out there, roll it over, check the cam, and we'll see from there. But just my opinion on something. So of course this isn't gonna work for camera. I asked Justin for his lifter tool and he just gave me the look. It's not actually a lifter tool. I think they're called flat build duct pliers.
Wait a minute, I got one of them.
No, you don't.
I do.
No, you don't. Yeah, because I made you buy them. Well, he can find his tool. They sell them O'Reilly's, whatever. But of course it's not gonna work. Yeah, y'all can see. They'll go down in there. Oh Lord. In a normal application, these just go down, squeeze, and you can pick up. This motor's pretty crusty, so I'm gonna get to work.
Mine are bigger than yours.
Who cares?
But they won't, that's what I'm saying, they won't fit.
It's a mess. He wouldn't let me do it. It's just a motor. Oh, that wasn't that bad. Some green Hulk juice. Alright, get the oil pan off. Well, just as I expected, it's not bad. It's a little sludgy. Look at the oil pan. I mean, you forget these things. This was a 94, it's 2023, so it's 30 years old. So probably never been off. Cam looks great. I don't think it's coming out. And that's what I forget. This motor, supposedly this broke. I don't know what's broke, but I want to find out because I've never seen this before. So I'll zip the oil pump off real quick. Well, I got the oil pump out. It's not the results I was hoping for. I mean, everything looks great. I know this part all comes off the distributor. I know it's good because the video I did of test stand, that's the distributor I use. Because like I said, I drove this motor in the shop, so I know it's good. But I'm just starting to wonder maybe if it just had a rod bearing issue and the oil pressure gauge wouldn't work. Maybe. I don't know. That's kind of weird. They got a governor in there, like a spring. It could be bad, but I've never seen it. So keep on digging and see how everything else looks, and maybe that'll tell the story. Justin's a little smarter than me. He said this is my problem.
I didn't even have to measure it.
Yeah, so we'll get them all took apart. Looks like I'm buying a crank. This motor comes from a guy where I put a used motor in. I don't understand why it's so hard to tell the truth, but I feel like this guy was probably riding around, probably drunk, and didn't realize what was going on. Because we've seen a lot of motors, but that looks like the crank. But watch carefully. That's a stacked bearing on top of another stacked bearing. It's melted off to the side. This one is still laying there. And that's what's so weird. Correct me if I'm wrong, Justin. The middle of the crank will be the first to get the oil. Anything closer to the oil pump is what will get the oil first, right?
Pretty sure.
That would only make sense. That's the oil pump there. So the closer you are to the oil pump, I would assume you get oil first. It's kind of like water pressure. But look at these. I mean, God, it's terrible. These are scorched over. I've never seen, Justin has, I've never seen rods. They're like heated up. So
I'm not going to let him use them again. He's getting different rods.
We're getting new rods, and Justin's got a crank that is used, but it was a build for a customer. So he didn't want to, a new crank's only what, $220?
Yeah.
So like I said, if you see the Jeep, it's a collector Jeep. Is like, it'll probably get sold, but it's probably never going to be actually drove. So just what I'm doing, may not agree with it, but it's mine. So yeah, get this crank out, see how the mains look, and maybe get the block. Probably going to have to wash the block. So y'all seen the rod bearings. The main bearings, believe it or not, this is the worst main bearings I've personally ever seen. And the only reason I think they got a bad spot is where it pumps the oil in. It was pushing trash in there and it was spitting it back out. But you can't see what we feel, but the crankshaft is warped. Right there, it's free and easy, but it gets way bound up. So no telling what this guy was doing. What do you think?
Well, I don't have a way to measure it, but I can tell you that's warped.
I'll get my tape measure out here in a second. So what's cool about YouTube, I can be dead wrong and it don't matter. Still my video, and then it's somebody will comment, argue with you. So we got the crank out. You can tell, remember I showed you these middle ones where all the heat was. So that's the middle of the crank. And I think right here it's warped, and then it's riding on these two, and since it's warped here, it's putting pressure on these outer ones. You can see these ain't bad at all, but this one's pretty shiny, and these got some wear marks on there. But at the end of the day, it does not matter. That's scrap metal and not my problem, and I get a used one. But I think I gotta get the lifters out. I believe I'm gonna let Justin wash this block for me. So definitely needs a flushing. Justin's over here pulling unnecessary measurements. Shoot me straight, doctor. Is he gonna live?
You got about 2.5 on the top and
Inches?
no thousandths.
Oh. So, like I said, y'all probably won't agree with what I do, but it's mine, so I can do whatever I want.
I mean, technically, you can build a race car motor. You know, you got the clearance in here now.
Oh, he said we can add boost. Cam, I know it's not pretty, but if you haven't ever seen cams, they never are. But it's getting reused. Got to knock the lifters out, stack them back in their place. So, go get them knocked out. Got anything to say?
Yeah, about 3 on every one. That's not terrible.
So, yeah, it's good. I don't know how many old commercials you've heard say startup is where all your wear is, but we doing a little research, we figured out something pretty cool. Oil pump pumps oil, goes, oh crap, I lost it now. Across here, comes in, goes through the filter, goes back in the motor. Goes straight across to, I know you can't see it, there's a port. There's a hole where it's drilled, and there's one back somewhere right there. So it goes in, fills all the lifters up, and then whatever's left, it pumps through these holes. You can see cross drilled right there. So then it pumps into the crankshaft. Well, then it goes through the holes in the crankshaft on the mains. Then that's cross drilled and goes to the rods. And where I was going with this story is hydraulic lifters. Justin was just educating me that back when they invented hydraulic lifters, the mains would get the oil first, but the lifters, hydraulic lifters, were noisy. People complained, so now they pump the lifters up, then they feed the mains and rod bearings. So that's why startup is such a big deal. But it's pretty cool. It's simple. I mean, oil literally comes in, spreads across, and then comes straight through these holes. And that's what I was saying. I don't get why these were the first to fail. It's almost like something was in the oil, and those are the first to go. I don't know. We'll never know. So just something kind of neat. Gonna get cam bearings too. So get the lifters out.
Hey, what are you using?
I needed a lifter deinstaller tool. You got a warranty. Watch this though. I ain't gotta hold the ratchet. Come on. It catches itself, and look what I caught.
Yeah.
I invented the tool, and it's lifetime warranty. That's probably cheaper than a lifter driver tool.
Learn something new every day.
$11. So this is what I was talking about on the lifters. And like I said, this probably go in one ear, out the other, but let's look. This is the one. I mean, these are 30 years old, 200 something thousand miles. All right, this is a brand new one. It's going to my stroker build. But you can see that spiral grind they put on them. And this one has about 20 minutes on it. Justin run it, and it actually fell apart. So you can see, pick up both of them. Yeah. You can see the one on the right, it's probably made in China, has more wear on it than this one that is 30 years old. So that is why I'm going to use the same ones. That's what I said. I remember if I said it earlier, we've had more trouble out of new stuff than we ever have used stuff. So odds are looking like the used stuff will outlive the new stuff. China. Oh, here's my stroker stuff. All right, got it down to pretty much bare block. Justin has the world famous power stroker right here. It definitely does a better job. I know that, but I got a ball home. It'll work. I know it will. Justin wasn't kidding. This is the kind of hone I got over there at my shop. He gave me one of these ball hones, and it's not even the right size, but works absolutely fabulous. And that's what I said. Y'all learn me. Some things I'm particular about, and some things I'm not. And this one is one of the situations I'm not, because it will run. I know it. I've done quite a few.
That looks like garbage.
Whatever. He's doing that because I don't know what I'm doing. Forgot I bought him race car stuff, an oil filter cutter. So I'm gonna cut that filter open, see what it looks like. Pretty cool tool. Not fun to watch, but like a can opener. I think you're supposed to mount it to the wall. Need the proper tool, but oh, there we go. Ooh, honestly, it's like stuff. Ooh, oh my gosh. Oh my god, dude. I don't think he changed oil. I think that's the problem. It's just sediment. Look at it. What is that stuff? Yeah, look here. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I think I got lied to. He said he was just driving down the road and the oil pump went out. That's a lie. But it's what people do. So I got it ready for the block washer and all that stuff. So Justin's gonna do that. It's over my head. I'm gonna leave the GoPro here, but whether he videos or not, I don't know. Still gotta get the one cam bearing out right there. But we'll catch up here in a minute. So I'm getting ready to pull Dex's block out of the washer. People ask me sometimes, can you wash aluminum in my dunker tank? This is why. Even though these aren't fully aluminum, the bearings have a little bit of aluminum in there, but as you can see, it just eats the aluminum up. It's not gonna hurt anything on the caps themselves, but yeah, partially my mistake, but I missed it before I put it in there. All right, the block looks a whole lot better. I didn't do the best job on honing, but I 100% guarantee it will run just fine. So Justin said I gotta put cam bearings in there, but I got a cool color. I'm gonna paint it. It's kind of not like stand out real bad, so I'm gonna roll it outside and put some color to it. I think I can do that, I don't know. Here's a nice shiny one I just got done. Painted it all black. It's another Jeep I got coming soon too. It actually goes on really good. I guess because the block's so dry. We'll get this thing dressed up, get a couple layers on it, and we'll start putting some stuff back together. Oh man, got my paint messed up. Better now. I was trying to let y'all ride back in the shop. There we go. So Justin said I got to do cam bearings, but I don't know how to do that, and he's working, so got the crankshaft. I think I got bearings too, somewhere, so we'll get the crankshaft in there. I know how to do that part. He said it was much easier to do the crank bearings while the crank's not in, so getting all these holes cleaned up. So Justin is a licensed professional machinist, just kidding, but he said he don't recommend you do this at home, so we're just not going to show you it. Pay somebody that knows what they're doing, because you will. I mean, what is the tricks? You have to line the hole up or something? Everyone's a different size?
Every one of these is a different size. Not normally, but yeah, on a Jeep, every one is a different size. You got to verify which one's which one to put it in, where to line the hole up, and then
the hole's got to be in a certain location. It's got to like be up here so it carries the oil around the crank. Yeah, right here.
There you go.
Like, it's got to feed the oil in at a certain time. I don't know. I'm just making stuff up, but it sounds good. So, yeah, we'll get it in there. So Justin got my cam bearings. We got it laid in there. Got all my main bearings, all them in there. Rear main seal. Make sure you got the right lip one. They make 2 or 3 different ones. I think just 2, honestly. So I'm gonna get some this stuff. I prefer it, and let's just crank in there. Got them covered in grease. Make sure you get the edges right there, and put some on the seal. Same thing there. So let me get this crank cleaned up. I think Block just grabbed my rag out of my pocket. Justin said this is a 2-person job. I think I got it. Just drop it in there. Oh, yeah. And he said, well, as bad as you want to, don't spin it, because it might try to spin a bearing. It just ain't worth it. Always remember lock to lock. It's the first I've heard this, well, this little trick I do. I'm not saying you have to. Any kind of lube will help on that, but these, I thought the book just says 80. Justin has another book that says 30, 70, or 40, 70, and then 80. So that's what I'm gonna do. It's not fun to watch, so I'll get that done and we'll go from there. Got the crank in there. Feels nice. Very, what Steve Morris says, very, very nice, very nice. I think the next dilemma is we don't have pistons. He can't hear nothing I say. I think I use pistons on another build. Let me figure this out.
Start it up. You think they'll fit in there?
We can try. We heat it up, drop them in there. I don't really want to put the lifters in because they'll try to fall out on me. I guess I could time it. Get the timing cover on. Yeah, that's next. Alright, well, I'm gonna time it then. So, I got it timed. I gotta find a pin button, whatever that thing's called. Do not forget this thing. And I'm gonna go find, I gotta get some rods. I think I've got some from Pink Jeep, if y'all remember it. So I don't know if y'all can see, this is storage. Got a bunch of blocks, cranks, and wash machines. So I think I'm gonna dig in here. That is my piston rods. So I'm gonna get them and get the pistons knocked off. I walked right by my timing cover out here drying, didn't even show y'all. It's ugly, but it worked. So I went and found some pistons, but I won't get Justin's approval that I'm doing the right thing. So this is the thing I said don't forget in there. It's crazy. I don't think a 4.0 really even has to have it, but I know the 2.5, you got a 2.5, you want that thing in there. So you can get it buttoned up on there. Well, crap, I gotta find that button. Do not forget your spring button. Well, I'll go steal one out of something. So Justin confirmed that these are the right ones I need to do. So I'll show you how to do one of them, and then I'll get the rest of them done. So he's got this jig here, and you screw these screws out to kind of balance it. Pick out the appropriate pin, stick it off in there. And like the 96 to 06 ones that do this, you gotta apply heat or the pistons go ahead and finish busting and then you're screwed. So I'm gonna try it without heat and put some safety glasses on. We'll see what happens. I don't like it, but it's doing it. Pin very sideways. Oh, I was hoping it'd fall. There it goes. Alright, I'm gonna knock the rest of these out here. Literally, knock them out. Some money he's pushing there. Huh. Alright, got the block there. Got the rods on. Now we wait on the UPS guy with pistons. Or hopefully UPS. Alright, we got some pistons in. Got this thing heating up. This is obviously a boring process. Well, I'll show you one thing. We always put green, so green matches green. Color don't really matter, just use the color. So I'm gonna try this myself. He's working. Wish me luck. Holy crap, I have no idea why. The whole time I was in there just shaking. This is just a bone stock motor. I can't imagine building a race car motor, but got them all on there. They're pretty respectable, on point. Smoked the whole shop up. I know y'all probably can't tell, but got them on. I'm gonna get the block back in here, get some rings laid out, and then them's obviously got to cool down. So we'll let them cool. One simple thing when you building your motor is this oil filter adapter. That's supposed to be like a protruding O-ring, and you can tell it's flat and can't see it in the video, but it's as hard as the floor. So definitely be sure to do that. And the O-ring in between there, it was hard as a rock, it broke. And then there's another one right there. So don't forget them three little O-rings there. So quick little story. I had a Jeep, it had low oil pressure, and I took it apart. When it crunk up, you'd hear just a slight rattle, and turns out somebody had rebuilt it. That's where I'm going with the story. I had a set of 1/1000 under rod bearing, and I put them in there, and it's the same thing. So somebody had actually had a 10,000 ground crankshaft with standard rods, and believe it or not, it actually run. So me being tightwad, I'm gonna try to use these in this used motor. And Justin showed me a thing called plastic gauge. Kind of an old technology, but still works fine. So I will show you how that works. It's pretty neat actually. So this is what you do. You just put the regular bearing in there, dry, put it in the motor, torque spec it, and I still haven't got a plastic gauge to show you. But where I was going with this is, I know some people's gonna be freaking out, but I've actually seen factory motors with a standard bearing on one side and a 1/1000 under on another side, plus or minus. So I don't even know how to describe how thin that is, but with this crankshaft being used, it's probably perfectly fine, so we will see. And I've seen Steve Morris and other people talk about using different size bearings. So let me get some plastic gauge, I'll show you. So if you see a little green piece of stuff right there, that's what it is. You'll cut one piece. I've never did this, so bear with me. Justin usually does it for me, but time for me to step up. So there's that. Bring the camera down. So all you do is lay it across the bearing here. I don't know if being too big matters, but we're gonna roll with it. And then you torque it down to rod specs, and it gives you these, how much it squeezes it together. So let me do it and we'll squeeze it, and I'll have to ask Justin what the desirable, I think it's between 1 and 2,000, I don't remember, but I'll figure that out, let you know in a second. I did forget, you are supposed to put it on the bottom side, that way when you push the piston down, it don't smash it. And Justin's got a chart I may show you over there on the wall. But it said anything between 1 to 3,000 is desirable, and I guess in the middle would be preferable. But that's what I just got done telling you. That other motor had 13 thousandths of clearance, and it was actually still running. So motors are as technical as you want to go, but just a matter of how much money and time and all that crap you want to spend. I think y'all are looking at the motor. I just realized I lied to y'all. I'm supposed to put it on the other side, because now when I knock this out, it's going to be knocking against the plastic gauge. So I'm going to have to figure out how to get that off there without damaging it. But just torque it down, don't rotate it, and then pull it straight back off. How do I get this off there now that I put it on there? I forgot, you're supposed to put it on this side. I put it on this side, because now I can't get the rod cap off without it damaging. Oh, that was easy enough. We'll try to get it off there with two. Try to get in that gap there. Oh yeah. Other side. So yeah, if you do this at home, definitely just on the other side. Not weird looking. Might have to go to regular bearings. Let me get back with y'all. So we made a pimp decision. It's right on the dot with 1/1000.
It's too tight.
Would it run? Yes. I don't know if y'all can see. I ain't got my light mod with me, but you can see the smear marks right there. It's right at the limit. So if we go back to the standard, that drops us down to 2,000ths, which is exactly where we're supposed to be. So Justin said I should back up my work. So I've got a set of King standard bearings, and I've got it laid on there. So I'm gonna do it the exact same way, just so we get the exact same result. All right, so we got some better results. I rolled the motor over so I can show you exactly. Still didn't stick to the bearing, stuck to the crank, but I'll lay it this way. I know it's gonna be hard to judge in video, but the white line on the piece of paper is where I wanna be, and you can see it matches it, but right there, that's a little wider. So that tells you bearing clearance for oil, and I know you're probably supposed to do every single one of them. That's what me and Justin's just talking about. Like motors, you can check every thousandths, they're endless. So it's just you draw the line how far you want to carry a motor. This is just one that needs to run. So I'm gonna get all the rings stuck on the pistons. They're finally cooled off, and I got my bearings now, so get the short block done. All right, got all the rings on, gotta get them situated. I gotta get some oil for the cylinder walls, and not really very many tricks. I gotta get the bearings on too. Stuff I use, and be sure I do them one at a time, and as soon as you get one in, torque it down, or well, as you're torquing them, take and see if you can still spin it, because if you do get the caps mixed up, it'll usually lock the motor up. So just watch out for that, just don't get them mixed up. All right, I should have took Justin's advice. I had to do a little ridge reaming up here at the top, but it's still gonna run. Just a mistake on my end, I just didn't catch. So now got everything blew out, ready for the lifters. I'm gonna clean them up, get them off in the proper hole. And he said to make sure they spin, because after you clean the block, I know you can't see down in there, but like the lifter bores, they'll have just a little surface rust, and they won't let them spin like they should, and that'll eat up a can. So we'll get them stuck off in there. Got all the lifters off in there. I know y'all probably can't see them. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and roll it over and seal the bottom end up. I upgraded to the new model dipstick. I like it a little better. So I'm gonna roll it over, find an oil pan. I think I may have to get a brand new oil pump. I don't think I have one. I don't think there's any tricks from this point. They don't spin now, do they?
When you roll it over.
So they will spin with no load?
Something. It's kind of hit or miss. Kind of have to do it fast.
That one moved. I seen some wiggle. I think we'll be fine. They fell off in the hole and was pretty loose, so we should be good. So I know y'all don't see, these videos are so far apart. I mean, this is weeks, if not months apart, but this is the one that had no oil pressure. So Justin talked me into a new oil pump. And it's funny, I was putting it together and he asked me if I knew any secret way to do this. And funny, we do it the exact same way, but figured I'd show y'all. Not saying it's the right way, it's just the way I do it. I get vice grips, they're right around, I guess you call it that shank there. Just, they ain't gotta be that tight, and then just kind of wiggle it in, get it started. You can twist it when it finally gets on there, but maybe this will work out in my favor. Yeah. Probably should have oiled it before I started. Vice ain't ideal for this neither. But either way, y'all get the concept of it. And like I said, when it gets down in there, you can twist it around. So just how I do it, I'm gonna finish it and get it bolted on the block. One more thing I was gonna show you, oil pump when it's brand new, you can hear it's free flowing. That'll take forever to prime. So figure out, I think it's this hole over here, that's the bypass valve there. But put some gear oil, I've heard Vaseline, I've heard whatever, but honestly just any kind of oil, kind of fill the dry gaps up. Yeah, it instantly got like grippy, tacky. So as soon as you fire it up, it should have oil pressure, which I'm going to prime it, but little trick. I just slapped the oil pan gasket on, got the Permatex on it already, and realized I forgot to paint the oil pan, so I'm gonna put oil pan on with wet paint. Everything else going good though. Oh, I literally just sprayed this like 30 seconds ago. But I want this motor to look good because I still... Oh, he's on the phone. I thought he was talking to me. But I don't think I've showed y'all what this Jeep, the motor is for. But it's a very, very, very mint. So I'm trying to make the motor look good, but that's a project for another day. Anytime you buy a head gasket at a parts store, these are the longest ones that they have in stock. So they stick out through the walk aisles. So always check the ends of them. This one's got a little damage, but just a water jacket should be fine. I'm gonna put some Permatex. I could go back and get a warranty, but I'm trying to get this done. So should be good. I'm gonna put the head on. Shouldn't be a lot to see. 20, 25, 45, 110. Except for this one, it's 100. Be sure to look that up if you don't know what I'm talking about. Leaks out the back. Oh, yeah. Justin said we can't forget that. That's got, well, I wouldn't call it oil pressure, but oil's pumped in and obviously it bleeds past the cam. Got the rockers in. Justin uses a minnow trap, other half's over there, to wash everything in. Kind of strange, but gets the job done. This is kind of awkward. I've never done it this way. So now I'm just going to run some oil across here, throw them in there. I don't know the torque specs, Ugga-Dugs, but they go all the way down. They're not adjustable, so you just clamp them all the way down. Good to go. All right, let's do a little recap where we got to. Got the head on, torqued down, rocker arms torqued down. Went ahead and threw a thermostat on there, water pump, just keep dirt daubers from getting in there. Need some spark plugs. I think I'm gonna actually clear coat this motor from where it's at, but I think I just showed y'all we got to take it off this stand, get that on there, and I've got a cool gauge I've acquired here, and that's what I was gonna say. I forgot this motor was the one that had no oil pressure, so kind of the purpose of the video is see if we can correct oil pressure. I done forgot that. I hope so. What was I gonna say? Oh, valve cover. Got to get a valve cover gasket in the morning, so that's that. Got to paint the valve cover, and we'll check the oil pressure. And we got to get some oil. I forgot about that. The drain plug is not very happy. All right, got a new valve cover gasket. Just literally spray painted the valve cover, so I'm gonna let it dry. Got a water filled gauge, some cheap oil, some 1040 and 1030. So it's gonna be a 1032, maybe a 1031 and a half oil. And yeah, see what the oil pressure looks like. For some reason I'm a few bolts short on the valve cover. I don't really care, but I'll figure it out later. And I got a brand new used drain plug from a race car. I change them about every time I change oil. So get the oil poured off in there, find Justin's thing, and we're about good to go. Sorry about the noise, Justin's working. He got distributors. He took the gear off of there. So all you do is just plop it off in there. And let me get the drill choked up and we're good to go. Probably take a second to come up on oil pressure, but give it a whirl. Feel it. Oh, 60 is cold. So that should be, that's probably idle 40, 50. So that's perfect. So next time you see the motor, it's gonna be going in something cool. Appreciate you watching this far if you did. If you didn't watch this far, then you're not seeing this scene. So have a good day. And blooper at the end, we forgot to add this cam plug. So yeah, that leaks just like we thought it would. It's actually starting to build like 70, so try not to wash all the grease off.